The first rays of morning sunlight spilled across the towering iron gates of the Marlowe estate, casting a golden shimmer that almost seemed divine. Yet what unfolded beyond those gates was far from heavenly. A woman in a dazzling emerald gown stood rigid, her expression contorted with disdain, as she deliberately tilted a heavy bucket brimming with filthy water over an elderly woman and a frightened little girl. The murky liquid splashed down, soaking their clothes, staining the stone beneath their feet, while the child clung desperately to her grandmother in terror. The sharp creak of the gate opening nearly drowned out the growl of a sleek, black luxury car entering the driveway. From it emerged Alexander Marlowe, the billionaire admired by many but truly known by few. The moment his gaze locked on the scene before him, he froze. His heart thundered. Disbelief clouded his thoughts, and in that instant, his world shifted forever. If you believe kindness, compassion, and second chances are what keep humanity alive, then pause for a moment, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Limitless Truth, where powerful real life stories remind us what truly matters. Alexander had always lived with precision. His life a constant rhythm of flights, boardrooms, and high-stakes negotiations. But that morning, he had broken routine. He came home unannounced, longing to surprise his mother, Eleanor, and his 7-year-old daughter, Sophie. After weeks of exhausting travel, he had envisioned a peaceful day in the garden, laughter echoing through the air, perhaps even light-hearted discussions about his upcoming wedding to his fiancée, Isabella. What he never anticipated was that his unplanned return would expose the darkest truth about the very woman he intended to marry. Eleanor, his mother, was a refined woman in her 60s, dignified and resilient, who had raised Alexander single-handedly after his father's death. Her strength, grace, and unwavering love had shaped him into the man the world respected today. Sophie, his beloved little girl, had lost her mother as a toddler, and Eleanor had stepped seamlessly into the role of both grandmother and mother, nurturing her with boundless affection. For Alexander, these two women weren't simply family. They were his anchor, his reason to breathe amidst the ruthless storms of ambition and wealth. Isabella, however, belonged to a world of opulence and status. She was stunning, eloquent, and always flawless in presentation. To outsiders, she appeared to be the perfect match. A sophisticated woman fit to carry the Marlowe name. But beneath her polished exterior lingered a chill, one Eleanor had sensed for some time. Isabella's subtle insults, her dismissive tone toward staff, her veiled arrogance. All of it Eleanor endured in silence, unwilling to plant doubt in her son's heart. What she never foresaw was that Isabella's cruelty would one day spill directly onto the innocent child she cherished most. That morning, before Alexander arrived, Eleanor and Sophie had been laughing near the grand fountain. Sophie, delighted, was gathering wildflowers when Isabella stormed in, her glittering gown swaying, irritation written across her face. She chastised Eleanor for letting Sophie roam freely, accusing her of tainting the estate's image with such playfulness. Eleanor, calm and patient, offered a soft apology and gently tried to lead Sophie away. But Isabella's pride demanded more. Without warning, she seized a bucket of dirty water set aside for cleaning and, with deliberate cruelty, emptied it over them. The splash echoed like a slap against the courtyard walls. Sophie screamed in terror, clutching her grandmother, while Eleanor, drenched, trembling, shielded the child with her frail body. Isabella's lips curved into a twisted smile. "This is what you deserve," she muttered, convinced no witness of consequence would ever see. But she was wrong. Alexander had seen everything. His chest tightened, his fists balled, and the life he thought he knew splintered in a single moment. The woman he had defended, admired, and trusted to help raise his daughter had revealed herself in the ugliest way imaginable. The future he once pictured, Isabella as a stepmother, a part of his family, shattered instantly, like glass striking stone. Slowly, he stepped forward, each echo of his shoes on the driveway heavy with meaning. Isabella spun around. The blood drained from her face when she met his eyes. His silence cut deeper than any words, his gaze ablaze with betrayal and grief. She stumbled over excuses, accusing Eleanor of carelessness, Sophie of misbehavior, anything to twist the blame. but Alexander saw through every false syllable. He knelt beside his mother and daughter, heedless of his expensive suit soaking in the filth. Sophie sobbed into his chest, whispering that she was scared. Eleanor, though shaken, tried to reassure him not to worry about her. But Alexander understood. This wasn't about spilled water. It was about dignity, compassion, and respect, all of which Isabella had trampled upon without hesitation. The engagement ended that very day. He didn't yell, didn't argue. With a calm that carried more weight than fury, he looked Isabella in the eye and told her to leave. Her frantic pleas, her crocodile tears, her desperate promises meant nothing. Under the golden gates and endless sky, Alexander realized a truth more powerful than any fortune. No wealth, beauty, or status could ever replace simple, genuine kindness. Whispers of the broken engagement quickly spread through elite circles, gossip columns buzzing with speculation. But Alexander remained unmoved. He poured his energy into the only two people who had ever truly mattered. He planned little adventures for Sophie. Picnics in the garden, bedtime stories, and shared laughter he had missed. With Eleanor, he lingered over quiet tea, listening to her wisdom, cherishing her presence more deeply than ever. Slowly, the shadow of that terrible morning lifted, replaced by the warmth of their bond. What Alexander ultimately learned was that true love isn't measured by appearances, status, or charm. It is revealed in how someone treats the vulnerable, those who can offer nothing in return. Isabella had failed that test. Eleanor and Sophie reminded him. Instead, that the real treasures in life are family, compassion, and the courage to walk away from poison, no matter how beautiful it looks on the surface. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Limitless Truth. Every click spreads the reminder that kindness is never wasted. And before this chapter closes, I want to ask you, what does kindness mean to you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because Alexander's story is not only about betrayal. It's about the rediscovery of life's greatest wealth. Not gold or diamonds, but the love that binds a family together and the courage to protect it. Sometimes, it takes witnessing cruelty to awaken us to the priceless gift of kindness.